Hello everyone. Today, as like others days, I am going to just tell you about the modernization of Indian Armed Forces. My today's topic is modernization of Indian Armed Forces. Why this topic I concluded it? So because it was a very high level topic in SSB interview. So now let's start. In this topic, in this lecture of this topic, I am going to just tell you about some things. Firstly, I am going to introduce that what actually modernization is, how it can affect us. And secondly, I'm just going to tell you that what are the importance of implementing Indian Armed Forces with modernization. How we can just include it, how we can just include modernization in Indian Armed Forces, and what are the necessity of it in the last 5 years. And thirdly, I'm just going to tell you that what we are actually doing at this time for modernizing our Indian Armed Forces and what the government are doing, what are the other weaponry systems are doing for modernization. And lastly, I'm just going to conclude all my lecture which I have tell. So let's start with introduction. What actually modernization means is that what China is doing, what America is doing, what Russia is doing, what Israel is doing. What are they doing? We actually, if we think, then we came to know that yes, they are just decreasing the level of soldiers and just increasing the level of robots or all types of laser guided air defense system, laser guided all types of defensive system. So what do we think about it? We have to think that yes, increasing or decreasing the number of soldiers is not only responsible for winning a war or for introducing a modern technology in Indian Armed Forces or in other armed forces. Only increasing or decreasing the number of soldiers is not only responsible for this. Modernization actually means that we are being modernized. If we are actually being modernized with the increasing generation, with the increasing technology. So if we came to know about Indian Armed Forces, then we came to know that no, we actually seriously, if we tell that yes, we are not actually just modernizing with generation. We are not actually in the way to just compete other powerful nation. Or how are they powerful? Then the next question is that how are they getting so powerful? In the same way, India is also a country, a very high level country, a second highest populous country, and America has a very short. You know that America is not any compared to Indian population. Yes, China is also comparable to Indian population, but Russia, we can say that Russia is not comparable to Indian population. Australia, Israel, these are all the countries which are not compared to Indian population. But so the question arises that how are they actually modernizing? How are they better than ours? If we have the large number of peoples and they have less one, and also India is also a large country as compared to Israel and Australia, as Australia is only equal to surface area of Australia is a little bit more greater than Uttar Pradesh. So how are they actually modernizing themselves? Then we came to know that the answer that yes, they are actually modernizing because they have a modern technology. They are just implementing themselves with the new technology. They are just changing themselves with the coming generation, with the second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation, and the coming sixth generation. So then the answer arises that yes, Australia, or whether it was Russia, or whether it was China, the largest population, though it has the largest population, but he is also increasing its science and technology. We know that China is most of its population, we know that it was compulsory for each and every people in China to have a military training for at least 1 year. But in India, it was not going to be. I will just make other lecture in any other day. But today I am going to just tell you that yes, they are actually modernizing, but we are not actually modernizing. Or we can say that if we are modernizing, then we are not at the same level. Our velocity is not so much to just compare all these countries in the coming 1 or 2 years. But we have to compare. We have to just increase our velocity so much that we are be comparable to these types of powerful nation, and those types of powerful nation which are also bad neighbors of India. What is meant by bad neighbor? Why I am telling this bad neighbor word? So bad neighbor means those who are just promoting terrorism, those who didn't want those countries who didn't understand India as a neighbor. They didn't think that yes, India is comparable to these countries. If they will cooperate with us, then what happen? If they cooperate with us, then we can increase, we can just take the world into a new heights. But they are not actually doing. They just wanted that expand their territories, expand their surface area, and just occupy all of the India to their rules. But India is understanding all the words as we understand, as our science and religion says that Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So what this means? This means that we, the people of India, means organize all the world as a nation. all the world as brothers and sisters, as Swami Vivekananda has also tell in London. Then but we are understanding that our neighbors are very good, but actually what we know that no, they are not very good. They are in the situation, the latest situation of means Arunachal Pradesh, or it was near Nepal, or it was UK, or it was Jammu and Kashmir, or it was the means border areas of Punjab. We actually know that no, they are not actually what we are thinking. They are actually different from what our thinkings, our thoughts. They are modernizing themselves, but they are not promoting India to modernize. They just wanted, as you know, that if India wants to just build a border road as a Indian organization, border road organization, want to build any type of means 2-lane, 3-lane, means high-level concrete roads on the border areas of China, then China will always disrupt us. They always means act as a barrier for us. They actually wants to just slow our process, and so that is why the recent Arunachal Pradesh strikes have also held it. So what we came to know with these types of circumstances of China which they are doing to us, we actually know that no, they are not promoting us, they are not cooperating us, they are just wanted themselves to modernize and make India a 2G or 3G nation in the way of means mobile phones, or whether it was each and every sectors of India is affected by this. And secondly, now let's start that what we can do, why it is actually important for modernizing of Indian Armed Forces. So Indian Armed Forces, as we compare to other countries, then yes, population wise, or we can say that soldier wise, man wise, living organism wise, it is we can say that it is comparable. It is in the top five armies in the world. But actually in technology, we are not so much comparable to Russia, we are not so much comparable to America, we are not so much comparable to China. So what do we think? We know that coming generation, the wars of coming generation, or if Third World War, I don't think that Third World War will held. I pray to God that Third World War will never held. But if it held in coming generation, if it held in coming decades or 5 years, then yes, India will lose it. Why? Because it has soldiers. I think that yes, soldiers are important, but only soldiers cannot win a war, cannot win any type of war which are being held in coming generations. Okay, so what we have to understand, that modernization is same as important as increasing the number of living organism, or increasing the number of our brave soldiers in army. China says that it has a 20 lakhs troop. It has a currently working 20 lakh soldiers in their army, and so that is why China's army is the largest, or People's Liberation Army of China is the largest army in the world. But what are they actually doing? They are also increasing, with the increasing level of soldiers, with the increasement in the number of soldiers in their army. They are actually increasing the powerful technology. They are just implementing the powerful technology in their sectors, in these types of army sectors, or each and every armed forces. They are just implementing force, but it was actually not yet to compete with other countries in the coming 1 or 2 years. If the government modernized our armed forces with this speed, if